I'm your host, Peter Kennedy,
Hello, I'm your co-host, Figatra.
and today we have our first guest of the show, Smiley. Welcome to the first episode of the SpiderCraft podcast. Now, if you don't know what SpiderCraft is, it's a Minecraft server that I started in December of 2020. It's now around 2.5 years old. Since then, we had 4 seasons, and we're currently on the 5th season right now. On this show, Nico and I are going to be getting into the deep history of SpiderCraft, talking about past events and lore within the server. We'll also be inviting players of the server to interview them, like how we have Smiley here with us today. In this episode, we'll be starting at the very beginning, back in the days when SpiderCraft was once called Poo Poo Hut. It's November of 2020. I start watching Hermitcraft around this time, and I thought it'd be really cool to find a server similar to Hermitcraft. When I joined the server, I met this person named Burb. Most people listening now have no idea who he was, but he used to be a very close friend of mine. We did a lot of things together in that server. We conquered the end and got yelled at by the owner, spawned hundreds of chickens, and built a treehouse. But unfortunately, the owner closed that server for good due to stress and money, I guess. And then I was talking to Jade one day about the Minecraft server and how it closed. And she brings up the idea of starting my own Minecraft server. And I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. I think that'd be a cool idea. But my first mistake was inviting a bunch of random people to the server off of Reddit. And Smiley, this is where you found the server, right?
It
Yeah,
sure is.
yeah. So, do you remember what your initial thoughts of the server was?
Honestly, no clue. I think I probably just came in there with no expectations, and I just decided, like, whatever. These people are not doing anything,
Uh-huh.
just my kind.
So you
Yeah.
just like joined them in all the chaos that they were doing?
Well, yeah. I mean, you were one of the few servers that were like accepting, just like really anyone.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I didn't have like a whitelist kind of thing. I just like accepted people pretty much.
mm,
These people began swearing and causing chaos before the realm even began, which I didn't do anything about. I then got realms for Christmas because they were begging me to get realms, and a new conflict within that server erupts. The conflict between the monkeys and the humans. So, Smiley, what were you and the monkeys doing?
yeah. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
Uh huh.
I have no idea. I straight up, I don't think that I was like really with the monkeys, like the main people.
Uh
I
huh.
was just kind of there because, I don't know. I think they invited me first, and
Yeah.
I was like, sure, why not? So I went in, I took all their stuff. Well, not all their stuff, but like I took most of their stuff,
Uh huh.
and then I built like the sun, and that was my only purpose was to build a giant ritualistic item for
Yeah.
us, and I just built a giant glass sun above the island. And on top of this, right, at
Yeah.
this time, I'm playing on my Switch.
Uh huh.
Okay. So the mobility is not easy in the actual game. So of course, it takes me a solid like week to finish that. So by the end, they've all got like netherite, and I'm sitting here with iron. But I mean, other than that, I wasn't really involved with the server. I was just kind of there, and I didn't mind.
Were they like ever planning? Do you know if they were like planning on like attacking anyone at all, or like actually
They
starting
had
something?
giant, giant hordes of TNT,
Ooh.
but we never, to my knowledge, I don't think we ever blew up anything
Yeah.
too specific,
Yeah.
like a giant like podium or anything. It was just like I think we went over to a giant like an open field, and
Mm-hmm.
then we tested it out to see what the damage would be,
Yeah.
and then that was like a quarter of our stack, and I mean, it wasn't worth like going in immediately,
Yeah.
because they like the kind of chaos that brought with it.
So like you guys just like waited it out until later?
As far as I can remember,
Huh.
I don't really remember like much of Poo Poo Hut except for obviously
Yeah.
the monkeys.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And then on the human side of things, I never was able to get many people on our side because people thought the monkeys were just better. But I did get some weapons and things just in case, but we didn't have like a base or any structure on our side. But after around a week of the server being open, Jade pulls me aside and talks about the future of the server. She tells me I either need to ban all the toxic people or just end the server completely, which I decide it was best to start fresh with close friends and a few people from the Poo Poo Hut server. How do you feel when the server ended?
I did not care. Like, I'm sorry, bro. I did not care at all. The monkeys were still in contact with me. I
Uh,
was like, okay, whatever. We can just move on to a different server.
do you remember where you guys went? Like what server?
Oh, yeah. See, that was actually interesting. I don't think I really went with the monkeys because I think they went to a server and they started doing like Discord related chaos rather than like Minecraft.
Uh huh.
And I didn't really feel like getting banned off Discord.
Yeah.
So I decided to just like stay in contact with them. But ultimately, I went back to Reddit. I found a different server. This server, though, I highly doubt that they're ever going to find this podcast wherever it gets, posted
Uh
to. But
huh.
they, it was actually incredible. I remember, obviously, you're talking about the tons of people that are toxic and swearing and stuff, and I am guilty of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But these people that I met, just to name a few, it was like Spacey, Senko, Travis. Oh my gosh, they were really fun in general, but at the same time, at this point, I didn't, I still didn't want to like go on to any calls with them, so I missed out on a lot.
Yeah.
But the server, I built Sunflower Valley, which was just, it's in the name. And I did that, and then everyone started living there, so I was,
That's
pretty epic.
cool.
But other than that, I mean, like going there, I hung out with them for a solid, I mean, really, however long it took until season one started back up. They were chill, and I'm not in contact with them because then they started getting, rude
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
and it was really weird when they found my mom's Facebook
Oh.
and
Oh.
started posting, like taking screenshots of it and then sending it into the Discord. That was just creepy, so I just left that altogether. But
Uh,
man, that was something.
how did like the server with Sunflower Valley end?
Um, it ended because okay, I believe that it ended because it started to decline in like people actually getting on the server. Most of
Uh-huh.
us were like more interested in talking on Discord, so we just kind of like died out on the server. But another big factor of that was the fact that it was like 10 guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then two girls in the server. One of them was Senko, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was the main owner, Spacey, was like obsessed with her. So we
Oh.
kind of joked about it, and he got mad at us, and like he ended up kicking me from the server a couple of times because I wouldn't shut up about it. But
Uh.
um, typical, typical behavior from me. But the other girl, B, she was with a guy named Ben, and they were like power couple of the year, right?
Yeah.
They were awesome. And Spacey, like I said, Spacey got jealous of them, and then he ended up like trying to get that kind of relationship with Senko, and man, that really turned the server upside down
Oh.
because everyone was like going against the owner. So then we had to create different servers without him. It was wild.
Man, what did Senko think of all that, you know?
uh, Senko really has that like I don't care type attitude.
Yeah.
So she most of the time she just like didn't talk about it in general. But the few times that she was like confronted with it, it was like more rather just her saying what I said about it being, creepy.
Man. Okay. Well, we now get into the season 1 portion of this episode, and season 1 started calmly, not too much grief or theft happened. But a month after the start of season 1, Smiley and the monkeys begged me to join back. Smiley, why did you want to join back?
I was instructed by the monkeys to ask you about it. Um, I was kind of like their messenger boy, but uh, I don't know. I think it's like the main part about it was the fact that I kind of wanted to just join back, try it again,
Hmm.
but at the same time, like I said, the monkeys were telling me to do it, and they wanted to come back and like try and grief it again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was, and so I wouldn't say that I like was begging to come back. Okay,
Hmm.
that's a little.
Yeah.
That's I think I just like asked a couple times, and then you finally gave in, which
Uh, uh,
mistake number one. But
I mean, I didn't let anyone else in except you, cause I don't know why I somehow like thought you would be different, and I guess you turned out to be different, cause I'm still talking to you. If I if I invited the other monkeys back, it probably would have just caused chaos again. What did they think that you got when you got in and they didn't get in? Did they like care at all?
well, when I got back to SpiderCraft, and I told them that I got in, they were asking me like all sorts of questions about it, and they were trying to like get the information without actually being in it
Uh
because they knew
huh.
that you guys were just gonna go ahead and ban them. So they were trying to get me to get admin so I could kind of protect them a little bit, but it was it just ended up with me like cutting ties with them because I didn't feel like getting in all that.
Yeah.
So
Were they asking for like the server address and like the invite code too?
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean they were asking for everything, and I just kind of like tried to postpone the answers as much as possible. I was like, "Hey guys, don't you think that's a little bit too early? And I don't want to get banned, right?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know.
Okay. Well, how'd you feel when I let you in and gave you a second chance?
I was more surprised just because of Poo Boo Hut and all that.
Yeah.
Um, I was very, like I said, I was very surprised. I was more interested in like starting, a new type of like path and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I kind of felt like a little bit of guilt for what I did in
Yeah.
Poo Poo Hut, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, this is cool. I'm
Okay.
back for some reason.
And then your base in season one, was it just like a little like cobblestone house by the shopping district? I think so.
Ah, I don't remember. Was it season one that I was muted like the entire time?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure we can get into that later, but
Yeah.
then I think that probably sounds right. I, for one, cannot remember any of my bases except for two of them. I think season two and season four I can remember vaguely,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, season one is just like the server is just wiped from my memory.
Hmm. Well, what was your story for like the rest of season one? What did you do? What happened?
Ooh, okay. What happened was a lot. Geez, I don't even know where to start. Okay, let's start with Jess,
Okay.
right?
Uh
We gotta start with Jess.
huh.
Um, I don't know. I think I talked to her a little bit before her freak out, right? But I went in like talking like to Jess in DMs and stuff. And I
Hmm.
went in expecting her to be completely like, just a normal person,
Yeah.
right, at the time. And then, her little furry thing, whatever that was about. Ooh, not too fun, not interesting in the slightest. So I was just like, okay, she's weird, but she's a part of the server. She's friends with some of these people, so I'm not gonna be too harsh on her.
Yeah.
Until, her boyfriend comes along. I can't remember what I said, but all I do remember is just I think I was probably asleep for this, and it was like the entire server. Just the next morning, I'm getting on the bus, ready to go to school, right? It's like 6 in the morning, and I'm like, let's check the Discord. Oh, what Discord? There's nothing there. So I don't really remember Jess, and then I remember her sending me all sorts of stuff that I didn't want,
Oh,
right?
yeah, she did that to me too, cause like she sent like a bunch of like inappropriate stuff to like a lot of people's DMs and then the server's
Yeah.
DMs. And then
Dude, and I had such
yeah.
high hopes for her too because she was Marine's friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, all these people trust Marine, so
Yeah.
I don't know. After that, I think because in general, like the start of season one, I was still extremely rude to everyone. Um, and I think that was mainly just because they weren't too happy about me being friends with the monkeys
Yeah.
or like me being associated with them. So I don't know. I kind of just like thought if they're gonna treat me like this, right, I should treat them
No.
worse. So smart.
But that didn't turn out well because then that got Marine all crazy.
All right, I guess we have to since the host has, brought up the what's her name? But no, Marine on that. I don't know, I think she's fairly nice to me, but I also think that like she was all right in the server. I thought that she was weird because, she was friends with Jess, for one. Furthermore, like I couldn't really do much with her because I just didn't know her.
Yeah.
So obviously already off to like a kind of rocky start just because she had seen what I was saying to other people and didn't want me to like
Yeah.
be near her in general. But
Uh-huh.
what got me muted? Oh, it was Jade. That's right. My bad. How could I forget? Um, I mean, long story short, right? Late night, and I'm talking to Jade in the Discord server, and instead of DMs for some reason, and trigger warning on the podcast, okay? She was talking about self-harm and, her issues with that. And me being the kind person I was, decided to joke about that.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like that kind of escalated. She got a little bit mad, just a teensy bit,
Yeah.
right? I started firing back, and I think that's when Marine showed up.
Uh,
Marine, and I want to say that Glub showed up too, but I'm not entirely sure on that. So, Glub, if you're watching, hi, love you. And I think I think like I just remember going into the muted chat and just like blowing up on and Marine. I was like, bro, what is you doing? I do not deserve this. This is unjust. And yeah, I was waiting for you to wake up too. Like, I don't know, you were probably like asleep or something, but I was waiting for you to get on,
mm-hmm.
unmute me, because we're besties. But I don't really remember how it exactly happened. I just remember getting quite mad at Marine for
Yeah.
ending my squirrel against Jade at that moment. But and then like Jade blocked me for whatever reason. Who knows why? But I think in general like that was like the start of the decline
Yeah.
in my faith towards Marine or whatever. I don't even know if like I had any faith in her to begin with,
Uh-huh.
but I remember a lot of just me DMing Marine
Yeah.
about you, and I
What
think
about me?
just me like saying how she's using you,
Oh.
and yeah, and then she was like, no, I'm not, no, I'm not, and I'm like, I was no, I was seriously like so confused. I thought that I was going delusional, like this was some kind of movie. How I was the only one that was really trying to, because there's no way that no one else was like not thinking the same thing that I was, right?
Yeah.
Like she's dating him for, whatever so that she can do whatever. I don't even remember any of her purposes anymore, but I think it was just me that like was speaking out against that. I
Yeah.
don't know. I felt like I was in the Middle East, bro. I
The
was
Middle
like the
East.
only one. Yeah, bro. I'm not trying to get into any political stuff, but yeah, I felt like I was just a sole survivor of whatever happened there. Um, I don't know. I think for sure, right? Marine obviously wasn't too happy. about me being there. Jade wasn't too happy about me being there for now.
Yeah.
And then I felt really bad when she started saying like it was her fault for getting heated and not just leaving.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think obviously I started it, and I feel bad. Like I really do want Jade to come back to the server too, because
Yeah.
it's like I don't know. She like brought it to life.
Yeah. I mean, she was like the one that. I mean, she was the reason why it survived for so long. She was the one that like kept the server alive because everyone like talking to her and stuff. And then season 3 came, and I think that's when she left. And then server died in like 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well.
I mean, just like the fact that I mean, well, also considering the fact that like I said, I was muted for basically, if not like actually the entire rest of the season.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have anything to do there. I
Yeah.
just kind of like sat there coming back to the muted chat. I think for a while I was like asking to stay in the muted chat just because it was so fun having like a one-way conversation with Marine, and then you would show up occasionally and you would be like, "Yo, calm down," and I would be like, and I had to like ignore you and start making Marine mad, make her show her true colors, whatever. But and I remember like DMing you, and you
uh,
said like some. I remember what was it? It was like 2 months. I remember like a specific DM where you were telling me that I was muted for like another 2 months, and then I was like, bro, come on now. What are you talking about? 2 months of it's like casual. This isn't jail. Like, what did I do? I don't know. But man, I mean, Marine, God, like that's so weird. Just how she like showed up, got you of all people to swoon
uh-huh.
over her,
Yeah.
and then ooh, okay, big story. I remember when I got you to swoon over me. See, this sounds weird without context, but because I remember like I don't know if it was Poo Poo Hut or season 1 when I started like consistently lying to all of you um about like who I was in person,
Hmm.
and I remember getting you, Peter, to believe that I was a girl. I found a
Oh,
random
yeah.
picture of a little like a 12-year-old girl in a car nonetheless, okay?
Yeah.
And you believed that. You, Peter,
Like,
you.
like.
He must have been utmost flabbergasted when he found out that you were not a girl, nor
I
12.
know. Yeah, it was actually fun because I want to say I told the monkeys about this and I don't remember if I did or their reaction, but I'm sure I probably did.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, they were only there to mess with you, so
Uh,
but like when every single time I would like end a sentence or end the night even just saying love you, Peter, heart emoji. I mean,
I remember
and then you
that.
would say it back.
I wasn't being serious.
Oh yeah, yeah. You weren't being serious, which is why you continued doing it for like weeks, multiple weeks. In Minecraft too. I still have the screenshot.
I think I knew. I thought you were I thought you were a guy. And then when you sent the picture, I was like suspicious, but I was like, okay. But in my mind, you were still like a guy to me. But you sent me the picture, and then I was like, hmm. But then I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's a guy, but he sent a picture, so I don't even know. But I've always thought of you as a guy. I never thought of you as a girl. But yeah, I don't know.
Thanks, Peter. I don't know if that's really a good thing or not, but well, okay, because I kind of felt like at the beginning, right?
Yeah,
I tried matching the energy that Jade gave off,
yeah.
thinking, well, if Jade's a girl, oh, then and I'm trying to be a girl to Peter, right? Then like I gotta start copying her, right? And then Marine and Jess show up, and I'm like, okay, well now I gotta fit into the girl boss type style of them. And and then Jess blows up something, I don't know.
uh,
Dude, that should be canon. that she like literally blew up, just ate like a stick of dynamite or something. I don't know. And then Marine, I was not having it with Marine. But yeah, and then you, but like I don't know, in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just I was baffled. I was baffled that you were believing me.
I used to be more gullible. I'm still a little gullible, but like I used to be really, really gullible when I was younger. So I mean,
Yeah,
I'm easy to
little
trick.
baby Peter.
Seventh grade Peter. That was
Man,
so long
I
ago.
mean, think about it. I was in I was in sixth grade when I was doing this. Like, I was a master. I should do this for a living. I don't know.
Catfishing
You know,
people.
like I should get onto like a TV show, make big money.
Catfishing people.
Yeah, I mean, it would it would be good content, but
You have to find people like me. That's the thing.
Hey, but he's got experience.
Well, is that everything about season one you want to talk about?
I don't know, Peter, is it?
I don't know.
Like, I'm trying to think. I'm okay. We talked about Jade, we talked about Marine, we talked about Jess. I mean, for the most part, like, I don't really have much to talk about
Hmm.
considering I was not present
Yeah.
in the server.
Yeah.
And the Discord server, obviously, right? Couldn't
Hmm.
do much. I was stuck talking to you, trying to get like whatever, trying to get myself unmuted. I was stuck talking to Marine, trying to get her mad.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know. I really like I'm gonna hold that like as a badge of honor until I die. That I was the only one that spoke out against Marine. I'm telling you, man.
That's true.
Like there's like I said, there's no way that no one else was believing me that like Marine is just using me for
Well,
this.
okay, Jade at the like sort of like at the end of June, she started like talking to me about Marine and like just talking about like how she's like using me and all this other stuff. So I mean, Jade realized later on, but that was until later. So you're like the first one, I guess.
I mean, I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, because what did Jade even mention? My logic?
No. No.
Exact. Oh my gosh. No way she didn't. I was just about to say exactly when you said yes, but no, you said no. Okay. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think because I remember before I left the season one Discord, I remember like scrolling through the muted like channel, and I just like consistently felt worse and worse as I went further up, just
Hmm.
because of how I was treating these random people. In one of them is in Missouri, one of them is in Texas. Like, where I ain't got no reason to be acting the way that I do. But I don't know. I think it was just funny. And then by the time that I was muted, I was just surprised that it wasn't banned
Yeah.
entirely.
Yeah.
But and then obviously, joining back into season two was like an acid trip for me. I just I was like, man, what do I do? I have literally like no one on my side. And I still had like nobody that believed me, or at least, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And then that was like when I was just trying to be a maid for
Oh,
you. I
yeah.
was like I don't know. I think it was like your son first or your daughter, because I was trying to, yeah.
I
Um,
remember.
I was your daughter, and then I became your bee maid, something like that.
Yeah, and then season two happened, and then you lived in that little cave. I remember.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that too.
yeah. Well, what was your favorite season? Do you have a favorite season?
Oh yeah, my favorite season, season one. Why wouldn't it be? I mean,
I guess so.
favorite season, season one. Why? Because I was muted, and it was really funny and I felt like I had an abundance of pride over
Yeah,
the fact that I was, so caught up in the fact that like I was right, or
yeah.
at least, for now, I was like, yeah, I was, because in hindsight, right,
Mhm.
I think I was overreacting just a tiny bit, okay?
Uh huh.
But But in the end, it felt good being right and
Yeah.
having everyone else. And I really don't think that I've heard anybody acknowledge my reasoning, I guess, or my logic or whatever,
Yeah.
because I just remember so many people saying, "What? No way. This woman was really doing all that." And then I had to like re refrain from going out and being like, "You guys are idiots." Like
Mm.
I said this from day one. Come on now. You gotta give me credit for something. But I didn't want to seem too, egocentric over
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, I guess that's gonna be it for this episode. But next episode we'll be digging deeper into season 1 with the chaotic group The Division. Thank you, Smiley, for coming out to this show. It's actually been really fun talking to you. And thank
yeah.
you everyone for listening to the first episode of the SpiderCraft show.
This episode has been
Like-
brought to you by in partnership with National Holiday. One of today's randomly picked national holidays is National Etch-a-Sketch Day.
Let's go.
Etch-a-Sketch?
Yeah. I'm not even kidding.